I come to you with real bad news. This is the part where I get off. Devin Haney, he did break his silence. I made a video about that. Check that on the channel. So the thing that was interesting is he says Ryan Garcia, despite the circumstances, was victorious that night, and that's fine. I do feel like weight played a role in it, but only Allah knows. I would love to run it back and give the fans a fair fight within the agreed weight, said Devin Haney. So I've already addressed this. Devin Haney has been bigger than many of his opponents in recent years. He didn't look massively undersized versus Ryan Garcia. He really got outboxed in spots, and he couldn't take the power of Ryan Garcia. It didn't look like a straight up size issue like Tyson Fury versus Steve Cunningham, where you just fail because this guy's a giant next to you and he's putting his body weight on you, and ultimately over time that shows. Ryan was catching him at a mid-range with left hooks, which he had no answer to. So the best argument I guess you can even make in defense of this is that Ryan, if he would have lost the additional 3.2 pounds, maybe he enters the fight a bit weaker, like, you know, from being dehydrated and having to replenish. But Ryan historically has always been a power puncher, so I wouldn't bank on that. And at the end of the day, you accepted the terms, so we will never know. So why did you accept this fight only to make excuses? Before the fight, Devin Haney's team said, we don't care about the weight don't matter, and that'll show on Saturday night. Now, when it didn't show, the Haneyacks and Devin Haney are saying, hey, let's run it back, but let's make it fair this time. The fact remains, if Devin Haney truly thought he would lose, then you wouldn't have accepted and moved forward with the fight. You would say either, hey, you got 2 hours, you better get that 3.5 pounds off, or we're not fighting. And these are the things you do to protect your fighter. But there was no one on Devin Haney's team that actually elected to do that. You accepted Ryan Garcia's $1.5 million allegedly, which Henry Garcia says wasn't 100 or 1.5 million. He said it was actually 600K, which is another reason why after a disastrous night for Devin Haney, Team Haney's probably upset, because if, you know, at least if it was 1.5, you made a little bit more money for losing your O. But if it was only 600K, like Ryan's dad is saying, then you basically sold your O for 600K instead of roughly double that, you know? So this was just a horrible night, and people aren't asking the right questions. Why would Bill Haney, the trainer, not throw in the towel? Why would Bill Haney, the manager and trainer, not have these safeguards in place? And I've said this on my channel. I said, so Team Haney had no rematch clause in the event that Ryan Garcia won. So that shows me negligence. The team was negligent to not have at least a one-way rematch clause in place just in case Ryan won, who was acting absolutely insane. So they felt they could drive the car off the lot with no insurance, and they weren't worried about it. So we can't, when it doesn't work out for you, then revert back to, man, I wanted a fair fight. You agreed to the new terms. That's why you have a whole renegotiation process. So on top of there not being a rematch clause, so meaning he has no options and Ryan is legally free to do whatever he wants, and you're asking for a rematch, stay tuned to the end of this video. I will show you what Oscar De La Hoya said to put cold water on Devin Haney Ryan Garcia rematch. But on top of not having a rematch clause, they did not elect to do a customary same day weigh-in when Ryan missed the weight by 3.2 pounds. This is strike two. These are things and safeguards that you put in place because you just need it. Your fighter's a champion and you want to have some level of like recourse if things fly off the rails, go off the rails. which they did. They also gave Ryan the lion's share of money, meaning he was the A side in the first fight. So if he was the A side in the first fight, then he's definitely going to be the A plus side, given that he won the fight. And most people think it wasn't all that close, and Devin took a beating and got dropped. They said it was 3 times, but we know that's cap. He was really dropped like 5, 6 times or something. Badly hurt throughout the fight, even the times he didn't drop, like in round 1, right? And this is the team saying we offered $20 million to Tank, and they're the face of boxing. Why would the question I'm asking that no one else is asking, the Haneyx aren't asking, is if all this is true, the Mayweather era is over, Gervonta Davis era is over, and Devin Haney is the face of boxing, why are you giving Ryan Garcia more money? Why are you letting him finesse you? Why are you going on with the fight knowing you don't have a rematch clause, knowing the guy beat you in the amateurs, right? 3 times out of 6, and you're just entering the fight, no same day rehydration. It blew up in your face. It is backfired. And now you have to pander to the audience like, hey man, Ryan was overweight though. That's why. And it's just a bad look. It's a bad look. You weren't at the weigh-in. You may weight, true professional, but you weren't worried about Ryan's weight, and he made you worry about it, and he made you respect it. That comes with the territory. Floyd Mayweather, he says, guys have gotten the best of me in the gym, and he even told this to Bill Haney. He said, congratulations, Bill. You have an undefeated fighter in the gym. But I'm a under the bright lights type of fighter. Devin Haney has cloned and mimicked a lot of Floyd Mayweather's the moves he's made, the jargon, he's a real tough competitor. Like I said before, at the end of the day, you know, he's trying to have the same lifestyle and show the same things, but it really took a back seat because when you lose this bad, you know, he got like all the gimmicks, the Don King flags, the Mexico flag, all of these gimmicks stand in the center of the ring. They have all backfired, and now you're left to pick up the pieces with none of these safeguards being in place, right? And I said these things. I said, why did Team Haney move like this? We got 500K views without any standard safeguards in place for their champion. This is not the movement of the elites, right? Tank Davis. This is where I really start to show the separation from my YouTube channel and the content that I produce versus everybody else. When I say these things, it's not really popular, or some of them aren't. But then over time, it shows you like, man, that guy, Boxing Ego, is reliable. The stuff he says come true. So March 5th, I made a video. You guys see it on the screen. Gervonta Davis possesses a one-way rematch clause in his super fight, Davis versus Garcia. One way, it is not bilateral. This means that in the negotiation process, Team GTD, Gervonta Davis, they knew they were the A side over Ryan. They had done more. Tank was a champion at 135, still is a champion at 135. Ryan has never been a champion in any weight class. So they made a one-way rematch clause. This stipulates, since it's not bilateral, that if Tank Davis were to have lost in any fashion, knockout, decision, you know, headbutt, and then Ryan was up on the card, whatever, that Tank could exercise and trigger a rematch. All he has to do is say, yo, legally, you have to fight me again. And he could get in the way so Ryan couldn't go fight Sugar Sean O'Malley. He couldn't fight Mario Barrios or whoever he wants to fight, Conor Benn. Legally, he would be tethered to Tank Davis. But I made this video last year in March, so it's over a year ago. You guys can check. I don't delete my videos. So Tank Davis's team, they were smart enough to have this safeguard of a one-way rematch clause because it's boxing and you never know until you know. The fact is, Team Haney, in my opinion, They moved cocky and they moved sloppy, and now they're paying for it. They're paying for it. They had so much faith in Devin the Dream Haney that this whole thing and the mistakes you made have been exploited, and it turned into a nightmare. So Devin the Dream turned into an absolute nightmare. You lost. You took punishment. People say Bill, they're questioning him as the coach, saying he should have threw in the towel. Devin Haney is now complaining about the weight and saying, oh man, let's make it a fair fight, things of that sort. People don't want to hear that. Devin has been big. Look at Devin. Like, you can see him. Devin Haney has size on him too, but you fought the wrong fight. You dropped your right hand. You had no answer for Ryan Garcia's 1-2, especially his left hook. There was way more flaws than just pure weight, and nobody wants to talk about it but Boxing Ego. And that's the reality of the situation. These safeguards should have been in place just like Tank. And now Tank doesn't look so stupid. Tank's team doesn't look so stupid. Boxing Ego, who said these things, doesn't look so stupid, right? None of us in this equation look bad. And then now people are crying over spilled milk because they wish they had done these things. It's like almost like when your mom tells you, don't hang out with these kids, they're not your friends, and then you get put in jail because you're hanging out with the wrong crowd, and then somebody ends up MDK'd or something, and then the police arrest you too because you was in the car. And your mom told you, your mom warned you, stay away from this crowd because your mom is older and wiser and been there and done that and seen people go from extreme highs to extreme lows, etc. And your parents or your mom or your dad or whatnot were trying to save you. But I really feel Team Haney, they got ahead of themselves, and Bill Haney fell in love with the cameras, and it was more about the show and more about promoting it and trash talking and doing videos with the captions and things like that, that they missed things. It was chasing Tank, clout chasing Tank Davis and mentioning his name. That became the program. If I were Devin Haney, I would definitely be looking at my team and cleaning house, because no one really protected you. And now at the lowest moment of his professional career, he's left to pick up the pieces, and he needs to look no further than his own team. He showed a lot of heart. He made the weight, but we can't make these excuses about, oh man, Ryan cheated. So that means for 600,000 or 1.5 million, you allowed him to cheat. So no matter what way you try to slice it, you, sir, are trapped. Absolutely trapped. I mean, at the end of the day, people are like posting memes like this. People are sending me. The world already got to see the fight. The weight is what it was. You agreed to what it was. Your face looked like this at the end of the fight. You got dropped a gang of times. The performance wasn't good. Many flaws were shown. There's no way you could really say you're the next Mayweather, because this has never happened to Mayweather. So it has now, this loss, and boxing is cruel like that, where one loss can make you have to reassess where you rated somebody, how you viewed them, everything, just off of one disastrous night. Look, we got 46,000 views, 46,000 views. And you got to give credit to Ryan Garcia. And as far as like, Ryan Garcia was wearing this shirt. He says, "Erder on my mind, R.I.P. to Haney." You know what I mean? Things like that. He wasn't playing no games. You guys completely disrespected him and had him written off. And now you're like, oh, I want a rematch on fair terms. They were fair, not in Ryan missing the weight initially, but once he paid you the fine and said, I don't care. He literally said, I don't care. Right? I also look at this before the fight. I don't see why Team Haney is daring Ryan Garcia to stand in the center of the ring and trade. Tank didn't even say that, and he has knockout power. Just fight your fight. A dog fight is unnecessary versus a puncher like Ryan Garcia. And what happens if Ryan Garcia's power forces you to box more and clinch? Everything I said before the fight came true. After you just told the world that you wanted Ryan Garcia to stand in the center and trade. It is a weird game plan to me, #ego, and this is why I get paid the big bucks. April 17th, the fight didn't even happen until April 20th. I told you it was a foolish game plan, but like I said, now you have to live with the results. You did this, your team did this, your dad put pressure on you, and Ryan was showing you who he was, and he, in past fights, you know, his fight, he's been fighting at a catch weight of 143. Devin Haney also played the weight game in some of his fights. So no one believes it anymore, bro. I posted this. Ryan Garcia laughs after missing weight. Laughs after missing weight. He mocks his weight advantage and says, I got a 3-pound advantage. Ha, 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 ha. I included the tweet because I'm thorough. Ryan says, and I quote, I feel great and I got a 3-pound advantage. Let's go. Ha, ha, ha. I mean, he doesn't care. He says he doesn't care about the 1.5. He's laughing he's laughing at you, saying he has a 3-pound advantage. And now he's talking his trash. He's living life, kissing a bunch of girls, going on podcasts. He made a lot of money. He was the A side, so he made more money than you. He's saying that Floyd Mayweather told me to come in overweight. Now let's talk about it. Like I said, no one's answering they're not answering or asking the questions that I have. They're not asking the questions to the necessary people, to Team Haney, and they're not answering my questions. Yesterday, Ryan said, Floyd Mayweather told me to come in 3 pounds overweight. He told me, F Bill Haney, whatever. I don't know if this is true. I don't care if it's true. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. But they played you like a fiddle. Now Ryan is talking his talk, and he's like, masterclass. And he came in 3 pounds overweight, and then they're trolling you because Bill Haney just got in an argument with Floyd. Floyd's holding up 3. Ryan's holding up 3 because Ryan came in 3 pounds heavy. Do you guys see the play? Ryan is holding up his 3s because he came in 3 pounds heavy. Floyd is smiling, holding up 3 because he came in 3 pounds heavy, right? So they're now trolling the Haneys like, yo, Ryan came in 3 pounds heavy. Ha ha, deal with that. Again, I don't know if Floyd told him for real, because Ryan says a lot of stuff. Some of it is jokes and trolling. Some of it's true. Maybe Floyd did. And people like the Haneyacks who lied to you the whole build up to this fight, they're saying stuff like, oh man, Floyd told him. And they're trying to shift and deflect to if Floyd told him strategically to come in 3 pounds overweight. I don't care if Pink Floyd told him to come in 3 pounds overweight. What's done is done. I don't care if Steven Spielberg told Ryan, called him up and said, I want you to come in 3.2 pounds heavy. What does that matter at this point? You accepted, you paid, the fight went on, you had other options. If you're supposed to be the face of boxing, your team had, like I've been saying, no safeguards in place, like Tank Davis's team had in place, and now you're crying about it when you weight bullied people too, which is this is bad, bro. This is just truly terrible stuff. And now you're like, I want a fair fight, you know, let me at him. Ryan holds all the cards in a rematch, and Team Haney, again, it's like the scene in Batman Returns where Batman leaked that tape of the Oswald Cobblepot, the Penguin, and he said, I played this stinking city like a harp from hell. And he just kept looping the tape. I played this stinking city like a harp from hell, right? I played this stinking city like a harp from, that's what Ryan Garcia did. Whether Floyd told him to, whether Will Smith and DJ Jazzy Jeff told him to come in heavy, he came in heavy. He laughed about it. He had no remorse. You seen this and still thought you could beat him. When Vasily Lomachenko asked for a rematch, This is his manager. Devin, wow, you got correct information. You went to the hospital, blah, blah, blah. How about a rematch? You see it on the screen. They asked him, how about a rematch? Are you scared? Are you scary? Right? A little bit of a language barrier. Devin says, I was at home having a three-way, right? So he wasn't worried about giving Lomachenko a rematch, and now you're begging Ryan for a rematch. He played you like a fiddle. He holds all the cards. Your team had no safeguards in place in the event that Ryan won, which he did. Team Tank had it, and now you're picking up the pieces. I told you stay tuned. I'm the best in the business, the most accurate, most reliable, most incredible, baby. And to add insult to injury, I said stay tuned in this video. Boom. On Devin Haney's post, this is what Oscar De La Hoya said. He said, good luck with Eddie Hearn, but there will not be a rematch. Oh my gosh. Good luck in your career, and good luck with Eddie Hearn, who is a European promoter trying to make it in the US. So De La Hoya is pouring cold water on a rematch for whatever reason. Again, maybe this changes, maybe it doesn't. That's why you need a strong team around you, so this stuff can't happen. Ryan came in overweight for whatever reason. He said he didn't care about the money because he was making a lot of money, and he knew that if he whooped you, which he did, and beat you, he'd be on top of the world. All the money would come. It's a smart play. Whether you like it or don't, it's a smart play. Now, Ryan has been on record at sometimes he's saying he'll rematch Devin Haney. Sometimes he's saying, no, there's no point for a rematch. And Devin Haney and team, who didn't actually have a game plan for Devin losing, they didn't have seemingly a game plan for Ryan's left hook. Now you have to just deal with the shambles and Devin taking the hit, you know? And a lot of it comes from the energy they put out. You're talking about the weight is the reason, but De La Hoya is saying you guys weighed this same or Devin weighed more. So we don't really know as a fan. Look at Devin looks big. We're not going to use these excuses on my channel about why he lost. What is the point? He lost. You look big. Ryan looked big. You both are probably fighting in the division you shouldn't be in. Don't care if Floyd told him. I don't care if, Ozzy Osbourne told him, oh, Sharon, it's the bloody dog, Sharon. Like, it doesn't matter who told him the game plan. He did it. He paid his fines. You accepted, and it worked.